Tonight, Saskatchewan families suffering from the loss of a loved one to suicide are promised help. And a new bike patrol hopes to offer a safer environment for hospital staff. Plus, no more bad blood. Taylor Swift finally adds Canadian tour dates.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It's Thursday, August 3rd. CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. Hello, and thank you for joining us. Every 36 hours, a person dies by suicide in Saskatchewan. Now, the Health Ministry has issued a request for proposals for a new program to help the people who are left behind. It's called Postvention Support. As Pratush Dayal reports, that support could save other lives.
So he was only 14 when he made it.
Jennifer Varga says her 15-year-old son Dayton was funny, popular, and passionate about football. She became concerned when he started spending time alone in his dark room, always on his phone. But still, she never imagined he'd die by suicide.
Totally blindsided. He showed no signs of depression, no, anything. Just one day, I came home and he was gone.
That was 3 years ago. She says her family needed support to deal with Dayton's suicide, especially her husband Curtis.
He went from a very proud, confident, hardworking man to a broken person.
Varga says she struggled to find him help other than medication, which her husband didn't like to take. Curtis died by suicide in 2022, 2 years after his son's death.
We went from a 4-person family to 2.
The Saskatchewan division of the Canadian Mental Health Association says without postvention support, one suicide can often lead to more.
One of the things that triggers people to suicide is grief and loss of any sort, including a family member or close friend. So in a way, postvention is prevention.
Saskatoon Crisis Intervention Services offers that support. The Director of Clinical Services says research shows that for every person who dies by suicide, 135 persons are affected.
Those that are left behind after a person dies of suicide, that is extremely impactful to their health and wellness. So we will continue to offer that psychosocial support to them as well.
Varga approves of the province's plan to fund a postvention support program. She's part of a private support group, and she finds comfort in her garden, where she preserves memories of her late son and husband. Pratish Dayal, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Help is available if you or a loved one is struggling with thoughts of suicide. Call Talk Suicide Canada anytime at 1-833-456-4566. The Saskatchewan Health Authority has wheeled out a pilot program designed to keep hospital staff safer. Security guards have started patrolling on bicycles around 2 major hospitals and some nearby health facilities. Nicholas Through has more.
Some hospital security guards are rolling a new beat. Kaden Melnichenko and his partner, John Matthews, have been patrolling around Regina General Hospital since last month.
It's just really important that we're out and seen. The high crime rate in the area, just having officer presences bring that down, as well as there's times where you've had overdoses just on the side of the sidewalk, and having people out and about to catch that before anything drastic happens is really good.
The Bike Patrol is a pilot program launched by the Saskatchewan Health Authority at both Regina General and the Royal University Hospital in Saskatoon. The SHA wants to bolster its security presence on the ground. Healthcare union leaders say they've heard safety concerns for years, from assaults on the street to vehicle break-ins. Police data shows Regina General Hospital, in particular, is in a neighborhood where a lot of crime is reported.
It's a great idea. It is a way to have almost instant access for, registered nurses or other people coming into the facility who maybe feel frightened, or there's a situation happening, and the officers can get there much quicker.
The bike patrol officers received certified training from the Regina Police Service. It included 3 days of classroom and field exercises. Among other things, Melnichenko learned to use his bike as a tool to direct traffic and to defend himself. He would still call police to deal with criminal matters. The pilot is slated to run until October, but all involved want it to be extended.
The feedback has been great. Their operational demands and where they can assist has been outstanding as well. So far it's looking like we're going to keep it or evolve it.
Union leaders want to see the program at more facilities and in other communities. Melnichenko and Matthews would like to spend their entire shift on their bikes instead of just a few hours. Nicholas Frew, CBC News, Regina.
A former far-right federal party leader appeared in a Saskatoon court this morning. Travis Patron is accused of impersonating a law enforcement officer in Saskatoon twice. Patron is the founder of the now-defunct Canadian Nationalist Party, which spread anti-immigration and anti-LGBTQ views. Last week, police say Patron told people he was an officer and accused a woman of abducting her child. Then on Monday at the U of S, police say he impersonated a peace officer and offered to escort a woman. The university issued a warning as a result. Patron was arrested yesterday. He faces multiple charges, including 2 counts of impersonating a peace officer and 1 count of criminal harassment. He'll remain in custody until his court date next week. Well, voting has begun in 3 provincial by-elections. Advance polls opened at noon today. People in Regina Coronation Park, Lumsden Morse, and Regina Walsh Acres can cast their ballots at one of 5 polling stations in their riding. The advance polls are open for 5 days from noon until 8. That doesn't include the holiday Monday coming up or next Wednesday. The actual by-election is a week from today, August 10th. The exoneration of Chief Poundmaker was a historic moment for the Poundmaker Cree Nation, one the community says deserves an annual festival. Ashwarya Duda takes us there for the celebrations.
At Poundmaker Cree Nation, the community comes together to dance in its first powwow since the exoneration of Chief Poundmaker. It's part of a much bigger festival, says the curator of the Chief Poundmaker Museum and Gallery.
The reason we're here with the powwow, the chuck wagon races, Indian relay races, is to celebrate the exoneration 2019 of Chief Poundmaker.
In 1885, Chief Poundmaker was convicted of treason and jailed. Nearly 130 years later, in 2019, the federal government recognized he was actually a peacemaker and exonerated him of any crime or wrongdoing.
1 kilometer away.
But Floyd Favel says people weren't ready to celebrate properly because of financial challenges. And then the pandemic put their plans on hold. Finally, now they are able to celebrate at the new Powwow Arbor.
It feels like a dream. I keep asking myself if this is real. We brought powwow back and we got to honor our youth, our elders, Chief Poundmaker, residential school survivors. We got to honor our people.
The chief says the celebration is important, but so is following in Poundmaker's footsteps to fight for what's right.
My grandfather fought in this rebellion here, and my dad was a Second World War veteran. He fought all over Europe, England, Germany, and as well as all over for 4 years. And today, seems like I'm fighting against our treaty rights, and we will keep fighting.
Correct history.
Favel wants to share the true story of Chief Poundmaker. He's been volunteering to bring back the chief's artifacts and restore the Poundmaker Museum. Back at the festival, Delane Antoine Tutusis from the Powwow Committee says watching the children dance is incredibly special.
I keep getting choked up. They look so beautiful and I'm so proud. It's such an honor. we see the elders watching them. The elders, their dreams have come true, and we have this and we can keep carrying it on. The youth can take it over, and we're just happy to get it started for them.
She says it's overwhelming to see the celebrations happening at this scale. Aishwarya Duda, CBC News, Poundmaker Cree Nation.
You're getting a view of the Queen City X, where Flo Rida will take the stage later tonight. But first, our own star will join us live. Stay tuned for the weather forecast with Ethan Williams. That's after the break. It's only week 9 of the CFL season, but the Riders' upcoming battle against the Ottawa Redblacks feels like a must-win situation. The coaching staff is sticking with Mason Fine for his 3rd straight start. Fine has put up the stats of a starting quarterback, but he's also made a few bad mistakes, and he hasn't scored any touchdowns over the past 2 games. Head coach Craig Dickinson says the offense shows promise, but Fine needs to take the next step.
He made a lot of tough throws under duress, and for the most part played a pretty sound game, and got the 1 pick late, but, we were down in that game and he was pressing, and I feel good about Mason. I think he's going to get better this week, and I think he's earned the right to keep playing.
No, I don't feel any pressure or anything like that. We just got to keep running our offense. Obviously, you got to put points up, and that's what I care about is putting points up on the board, no matter how you get it done. But yeah, you got to get it done. You got to put more points on the board.
The last touchdown drive Fine led was late in the Riders' loss to Calgary on July 15th. Sunday's home game against the Redblacks kicks off at 5 p.m.
This weather update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Regina, proud member of the Capital Automotive Group.
Weather specialist Ethan Williams joins us now from the Queen City X. Ethan, have you tried any of the rides yet?
I've not tried the rides, Natasha. I'm more of a food guy at the X, which is why I've so conveniently set myself up in front of all the food trucks here. So I'll definitely be going for a bite after we're done here. If you're coming for Flo Rida a little bit later tonight at 9 o'clock, could get a little bit stormy. We're looking at some storms actually right now on radar. If we take a look at what we're seeing a line of storms now moving in through the province. That's because of a cold front which is moving in as a result of a low pressure system moving through the province, and a severe thunderstorm watch in effect roughly from around Swift Current over to just east of Regina, up to around Melfort, and then westward over toward the Battlefords. And some severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect now kind of north and east of Saskatoon, and also in northern Saskatchewan, where we are seeing a line of storms from a separate low pressure system beginning to move in. Western sections of the province seeing a line of storms there at the moment. Hot weather, of course, fueling these storms. We're seeing temperatures in the mid-30s today for a lot of south and central Saskatchewan, and you factor in a little bit of humidity. I was feeling like 40 earlier this afternoon in Saskatoon, upper 30s for a lot of south and central as well. Now that low pressure system bringing that line of storms to south and central, moving eastward as we head through the evening tonight. Will it reach Regina? There might just be enough storm energy by middle of the evening that we do see that. By the time we get through the overnight hours, though, I think those storms are going to start to die out. Rain, though, from a separate low pressure system moving through northern Saskatchewan, going to continue through tonight and tomorrow, and likely through Saturday. High pressure moves in on Saturday to south and central, but not before we see another storm risk for southeastern Saskatchewan come tomorrow. 5 to 10 millimeters generally in northern Saskatchewan is what we can expect through the night tonight. Maybe another 5 to 10 tomorrow afternoon. And then as that system continues to work its way through Saturday, you can add a few more millimeters likely to that. Total amounts in the kind of 10 to 25 millimeter range, mostly for northern and eastern sections of the far north. Thunderstorm risk tomorrow, as I mentioned, is in southeastern Saskatchewan. Same kind of threats as we saw today. Some large hail, strong winds likely to be included in that. And speaking of the winds, it has been breezy through south and central through the afternoon today. We've been seeing winds pick up at times close to 50 kilometers an hour. That'll likely be the case again tomorrow. And even as we head through Saturday, that low pressure system in the north still trucking its way through, and there could be some gusts upwards of 50 or so. Now, those winds going to shift to coming from the north, and that means that we're going to be seeing a bit of smoke. We had some smoke in the Prince Albert area earlier today, and that'll likely be moving a bit southward. So south and central could be seeing that smoke late overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. But then as we get through the weekend, more smoke from the north, likely moving southward, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Our extended forecast for Regina and southern Saskatchewan, well, our streak of 30-degree days may come to an end tomorrow, looking for a high right now of 29, but given that we've been getting warmer than what's been predicted, we may just get into the 30 range, but then quickly after that, back down to seasonal conditions and looking at lots of sunshine as well. For Saskatoon, tomorrow, could see as much of a 10-degree temperature drop between yesterday and today, as we got up to 37 this afternoon in Saskatoon. Even a little bit cool as we head our way through the long weekend and into next week, Natasha. So for the X, in the meantime, you're going to have a lot of that warm weather, that hot weather for these next few days, and especially if you're coming down here tonight.
Sounds good. Okay, now pick me up a bucket of mini donuts, please. Is that a yes?
This is a
Ethan?
man's life in the round, his private world, his public world. It's not just about beautiful things, the beautiful things Freddie liked to surround himself with.
Hundreds of items belonging to Freddie Mercury, including song drafts and his beloved piano, are going up for auction. More than 1,400 of Mercury's personal possessions are on display at Sotheby's auction house in London. The Queen frontman gave the massive collection to a close friend, and the items have been left in his mansion since he died in 1991. The handwritten draft of Bohemian Rhapsody is expected to fetch up to $2 million. Mercury's Yamaha baby grand piano, as much as $5 million. The auction is set for August 9th. We'll be back after the break.
When it comes to your news, you want up-to-the-minute access. Anytime, anywhere. Get the facts straight from the source. Download the free CBC News app or visit cbcnews.ca for news you can trust.
Welcome back. Health Canada is reviewing popular diabetes and weight loss drugs like Ozempic. There are reports that taking them may lead to an increased risk of suicide. Health agencies in Europe and the UK are also studying the link between Ozempic and mental health. CBC's Christine Birak has this story.
It's like legitimately horrific side effects.
I feel okay. And then it was bitchy.
Exorcist in my The stories are all over social media.
I was violently vomiting to the point where I was vomiting blood.
After taking a medication for type 2 diabetes that's also being used for weight loss, patients worldwide are reporting possibly alarming side effects from drugs like Ozempic. Health Canada says it's examining the risks of suicidal ideation, thoughts of self-harm, and suicide reported by patients taking these medications. The agency now says it's aware of 26 reports of suicidal thoughts, but adds they're not medically confirmed yet. The UK and European medicines agencies are doing similar investigations.
Every medication that comes onto the market needs to be looked at for adverse side effects.
This obesity doctor says if the reports are confirmed, health agencies then need to figure out whether the medication is causing the condition.
Anyone who's seeking weight management actively is at a higher risk of suicidal ideation, and that's been documented in clinical trials. So the question is this just a correlation, or is it actually a causation?
And the next step means that we need to start running the studies.
Based on reports, researchers are also studying whether the risk of thyroid cancer increases while taking the newer obesity drugs.
There was a study that was published a few months ago that found in Europe that there might be a potential association. And so what we're trying to do is replicate that same style of study to see is that actually happening or not.
Novo Nordisk, the company that makes Ozempic, says it's working with health authorities and researchers to make sure patient safety information, including side effects, is accurately listed on their products. Doctors insist before taking any drug, patients need to make sure the benefits outweigh the risks. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
Swifties rejoice. Taylor Swift is bringing her Eras Tour to Canada after all. The singer-songwriter will perform 6 nights in Toronto at the Rogers Centre in November 2024. Swift will be the first artist to perform that many nights at the stadium in a single tour. Tickets go on sale August 9th. Verified fan registration is already open through Sunday. That's a Ticketmaster platform meant to battle online scalper bots. Canadian stops were not included in the initial tour announcement, prompting fans to complain and beg online. Even Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a plea on social media for the singer to come to Canada. And we're back at the Queen City X with our weather specialist, Ethan Williams. Hi, Ethan.
Hi, Natasha. Well, no Taylor Swift here tonight, but Flo Rida, of course, will be here at 9 o'clock. And as we say, there may be some storms moving in for that. But let's take a look at the rest of your Regina forecast, where tomorrow morning we could see a little bit of that forest fire smoke moving our way and making things a little bit hazy. Still quite warm in the morning at 8 a.m. By the noon hour, that should clear out, though, but we are looking for some increasing cloudiness, around 27 degrees, maybe some afternoon thunderstorms as well, feeling like 30 at that point. In Saskatoon, the smoke likely moving through as we head through the overnight hours tonight, looking for mostly sunny skies by 8 a.m. at 19 degrees, those northwest winds picking up a little bit as we head into the afternoon. And then as we get to that noon hour, we're looking for 25 degrees, mostly sunny skies as well. Those winds should stay moderate for the most part, but may pick up as we head into the afternoon. Less of a chance of showers and storms in the Saskatoon area. All right, Natasha, those mini donuts you asked for, I'm going to go get some for you. I think I'm going to get, well, there's some donuts and ice cream over here too. We got a whole selection.
That sounds great, Ethan. Hugely appreciated. Well, the Canadian Little League Championship is underway in Regina. We swung by for suggestions on the best baseball movie. One flick clearly topped The Pitcher's Mound.
You have a favorite baseball movie?
Yeah. Sandlot. Forever. Well, I watched it like probably over 100 times, and it's just good memory. And it's just a lot of little kids, like, and then there's this one guy who grows up and he's an MLB player.
He was known as Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
So it's like, you know, one day you never know, like I could be in the MLB, anyone could be in the MLB here. Forever.
Favorite baseball? The Sandlot is a classic one.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Well, I think that's everybody's pick, but yeah, that's definitely mine.
Sandlot, probably. Oh, no. The kids try and like get in their backyard to get that one ball, and they can't because they're scared of that dog.
Sandlot. My kid watches that. I think it's 6 times already this summer.
Forever. The Sandlot. There's a lot of kids in it, and at the end of the movie, that was just nice.
You knew Babe Ruth?
George? I sure did. And he knew me.
Bull Durham.
So relax, let's have some fun out here. This game's fun, okay?
Oh, it explored the life of an aging professional baseball player in the minor leagues.
Field of Dreams is one of my favorite baseball movies.
Hey, Dad? You want to have a catch?
Because it's about making baseball memories with your family.
Aren't those some great ideas? Well, that's it for us tonight. For news anytime, head to cbc.ca/Sask, or you can subscribe to the CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel. Ethan and I are back at 11. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.